Good tidings. It's me, Floss, up in the library. And today we are going to talk about my book successes and my book failures. Wait, did I say that right? No, in life there are no failures, only lessons learned. Yay, you made it. I've been waiting for you. Hi, my name is Floss, and this is the Grape Jelly Library, where we love to talk about books. I am so glad you can make it. I always look forward to your visit. Now, let me tell you what, girlfriend. I have a mess on my hand, a mess that I have created. But you know what? I wouldn't be that tornado that I am if I didn't go around creating little messes everywhere I go. So, I'm talking about the books that I should be reading, the books that I am reading, the books that I want to be reading. If you're a book reader, it's a good time to be invested in the craft. I call it a craft. In the craft of reading. So fun, especially around this time of year. For those of us who are suffering losses, or for those of us who are in the holiday spirit tenfold, losing yourself from the hustle and bustle of the world out there, or the loneliness within, losing ourselves in a book. Doesn't seem like such a bad thing. It's not going to fix anything. It's not a cure-all, but it is a temporary escape into another world. And isn't that what we do? Isn't that why we do what we do as readers? Okay, so before me, I have some books. Let's see. Let's see what we are going to manifest. Okay, the first book is, I have to take these stinkers off because they do me no good when I try to read. Okay, the first book that we have is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Now, guess what? I tried to read this with the Wavy Daisy Book Club. That is a book club near where I live. And it tanked. I went nowhere fast with this. I so wanted to read it. But it was the summertime, and I got busy. And I know, excuses. But then Jen, over at the channel Literary Love, said that she was going to be reading it. So I jumped on that bandwagon pretty darn quick. And guess what? She read it, and I did not. I just could not find the time. And I know that it's a bigger book and that I'm going to need to dedicate some time, but I don't think the time was right for me. So attempt number 2, nowhere fast. But you know what they say, the third time is a charm, so I'm not giving up hope. All right, so now, and I'm told that, that is an excellent book. It's like trippy. The pages upside down, for those of you who haven't read it. And then I think we have like that pages that are like chock full of wordage. Look at that. I'm so curious as to what this is about, but yeah, the time is not right for me. Okay, so the next book I did read. Yay, I did read. This was a bit of an expensive book. I did pay full price for it. It was $24. And at first glance, I didn't want to part with that money. Not for that, I didn't. But sometimes in my brain, I need to mull it over, and then as time passes, I become pretty good at talking myself into things. Eat the World by Marina Diamandis. Now, I did not know who she was, but the cover and the title is what struck my fancy. It piqued my curiosity. So, the second time around, yeah, we did a thing and we bought it. We parted with that $24. And I have to say that I pulled it off the shelf in an attempt to read what I own, and this book is worth $24 in my opinion because it is quality over quantity. The depth and the, what do I want to say? The experience is there. It's definitely there tenfold. You're getting your money's worth with this, in my humble opinion. It's a book of poetry. Now, Marina said she did not plan on writing poetry. She's a songwriter. She's a singer. She's in a band, Marina and the Diamonds. I'm not familiar with it, but in an attempt to become familiar with who she is, while I was getting ready for work one day after I read this, I kind of YouTubed some interviews by her. She's an intelligent, beautiful young lady, and I like what she had to say, and she is, our youth, and I think of what I know of her so far, she represents well. So this is poetry about her life and her experiences, and I think we all go through the same things or similar things with breakups and trying to be that everything for somebody who doesn't really appreciate us. And she talks about being bulimic and how she thought that being skinny was going to be the answer to it all. Like, how could you not love somebody who was skinny? But in time, she found out that, that wasn't the answer, and she was on a fast track to nowhere. And she said she suffered for years trying to figure things out in her life, and she finally is at a place where she is happy. So I am happy that she is happy, and I would recommend this book of poetry. Now, I have to say, as I don't read very much of it, I do like it. I do think that I have a talent for it, but I have to say that is a talent that I was blessed with, that I let go by the wayside. I don't utilize that talent, and I don't know why. But so I have to say that even though I have a skill for it, a knack for it, I don't gravitate towards it in general. And as I grow as a reader, as I grow as an individual, I want to go more in that direction. And if you want to go more in the direction of poetry, I'm going to recommend a wonderful channel to you right now, Aaron Facer. Aaronfacer. I'll put his information in my description. You could just click on that link and head on over to his channel. Woo! You can learn a thing or two from him because, when I want to dabble in poetry, he's my go-to channel. He's fantastic. He's a young gentleman, and he's soft-spoken, and he's calm, and he's just all the things, and I highly recommend his channel if you want to explore poetry. He can help you out with that. So I am glad that I parted with the money. I'm glad that I read this. I had a good time in this book, and there were certain poems that, stood out to me, that clicked with me more so than others. But I give it it's like a 10-10 recommend. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so moving along, guess what? Okay, let me just put these all on my lap. I'm just going to put these on my lap. Okay, so guess what? My book friend Kathy recommended a Stephen King book to me, as I am also new to Stephen King. I have read thus far It and Misery and Holly, and I really enjoyed Misery. After reading it, and I don't think I should have read that one right off the bat. I think I should have read other things and, built up to it, let that like a crescendo, but I didn't. I jumped right in with both feet. And I don't know, I didn't come out of it a fan. I found them to be long-winded and rambling, unnecessary. And who has that kind of time? I did it to prove a point to myself. Did I prove that point? I don't know. But anyways, I gave Holly a chance because I loved the cover of it. Oh my God, gorge. And then, I don't have the, I'll call them, I'll clean it up, hacky sacks to watch the movie Misery. But I do to read the book. So I did read the book. And lo and behold, the book is a different experience than the movie show. They say the book is more graphic, more violent. But I was able to handle that, and I came out of it, and I have to say, okay, now I'm a Stephen King fan, so we're gonna do the thing. So Kathy told me to read 11/22/63. So I can't buy it, so I went to my library, which is a good thing, and I took out a copy of it, and she forewarned me, it's a heavy duty one, it's a chunker. But I'm like, you know what? I'm a glutton for punishment. I know I have 100 books to read, but let's put those books on hold so that I could read something I'm not going to get credit for. But I don't really care because I wanted the book experience. I value what Kathy has to say and what she recommends, and I just wanted to do it. I'm in no hurry to read those 100 books. I'm in no hurry at all. They'll get read when they get read. That's the bottom line. So I'm 14 chapters into this. I have 12 more days, and then I have to return it back to the library. So 14 chapters in, that puts me at page 474, and I have to say I am so thankful for large print, especially at my age. That was the little slip that the library gives you as a reminder of when you checked it out and when it needs to be back. So I'm not going to say too much about this, what I think about this, because I am going to do a book review on it. But you know what? Pat from Book Chat with Pat also recommended this book. And I, too, value Pat's recommendations and opinions. So, if two good book people are recommending something to me, I am not a fool. I am going to take those recommendations and I'm going to get that job done. So currently working on this one. Okay. Whilst I was at the library and they were getting I called ahead to have that pulled. While they were getting it, I was just perusing the shelves, and they had a section to cozy up with a warm beverage, coffee, tea. I'm not a tea drinker, although I try. I have attempted tea drinking many, many times. And, maybe if I buy this teapot, maybe if I buy this teacup, maybe if I buy this set, that will help me to be a tea drinker. Maybe if I buy this tea brand or this tea flavor. And I have to say, I'm very basic with my teas. Basic. Yeah, but you know what? I get a little bit on the kick, and then I get off it pretty quick. So it kind of aggravates me that I'm not a tea drinker because, I want to drink tea just to be a hot shot, just to know that I'm a tea drinker, and for the medicinal purposes of tea drinking. So, long-winded, but I took out this book, Tea Life, Tea Mind, and I'm not even going to attempt. Yes, I will. I'll attempt it. So shitsu shen. So shitsu shen. He's going to help me to be a tea drinker. I just know he is. I have faith in him. He will help me get that job done. I'll do a book review on this too, because, you know, I think that like cozy warm beverages this time of year, at least where I'm from, the northern hemisphere, it gets pretty chilly. That wind, it's a howling, chilly kind of thing. Tea could be a great thing. All right, so now, listen. I'm supposed to be reading The Stone Matress by Margaret Atwood. I once saw her. I did. With MJ, we went to a little like performing arts center type of thing, theater type of thing, and Margaret Atwood was the guest. And, you know, I didn't know what to expect, having not read anything by Margaret ever. And I found her to be charming and lovely. And I bought a couple books in the lobby. And one of them is like a bunch of questions, questions and answers. So she's super intelligent, in my opinion. And I was so excited to read that book. I can't think of what it is right now, but I will reference it, and then I'll put it in my description. But, you know, here we are like almost 2 years later, and I still have not read that book, even though it is a want. It is definitely a want. So I think I'm going to get that book read this year. With 100 books to read, that might be, you know, a good choice. So I chose a smaller book by Margaret, Stone Matress. And I was about to dig in when I got sidetracked. You know, sidetracked, it's a thing. I got sidetracked with the Cher memoir. Hello. So I'm going to put Margaret on the back burner, and we're going to dig into Cher. Even though I'm not going to get any credit for reading Cher, we're going to do it. And now, having completed Cher, I don't know what I did with the Margaret Atwood book. I misplaced it. It's somewhere, but I have no idea. So until I can find it, I need to dig into one of the next 3 books that I said I was going to read. I promised these were the 3 books I was going to read next, and I'm way behind schedule. And a promise is a promise. And so, since I can't find Margaret, I'm going to read the smaller of the 2 books that are in my hand. So one of the 3 books that I said I was going to read is The Secret Life of Cows by Rosamund Young. Yes, I love cows. I love them. I love them. I love them. They are cutie wooties. And he is cute. You tell me he's not a cutie wootie? Yes, he is. So I want to know. I want to know about that Secret Life of Cows, because I am a huge animal lover. Huge. If I could only take care of all the animals in the world. But anyways, I'm going to be reading this because it's not a very big book at all. And it is going to help me to accomplish my goals. So I think it's, like 137 pages long. So I can do that. I'm off tomorrow. I can do that and get this read in one day. And this will put me at book 3. 3? It might be 3. I'll have to check that. And then another book that I want to read, the third book of the 3 that I wanted to read, book 3 of 3, Cuyahoga. Am I saying that right? Beatty. Beatty. It's a novel. And I love the cover. I love the cover, and that's why I picked it. It's given me vibes, and, you know, I have no idea what I'm in for, but I want to. So I already told about this book in a previous video. Do I remember? No, I don't remember what it's about. Big Son is spirit of the times being 1837. Behind his broad shoulders, shining hair, and church organ laugh, Big Son practically built Ohio City all by himself. Big cannot become an honest husband to his beloved Chloe, who might not want to be his honest wife. In pursuit of a steady wage, our hero hits the dirt streets of Ohio City and Cleveland, sister settlements, fighting to become the first great metropolis of the West. Their rivalry reaches a boil over the building of a bridge across the Cuyahoga River, and Big stumbles right into the kettle. So, all right. I'll continue. Narrating the ensuing misadventures is Medium's son, known as Mead, apprentice coffin maker, almanac author, and Big's little brother. His uncanny voice, at once plain-spoken and poetic, elevates folklore into a screwball origin myth for the Rust Belt. Takes on celebrity, masculinity, terrorism, climate change, all in one rollicking, historical, mock epic. Mixing dizzying humor and deep feelings. This astonishing debut turns the tall tale inside out. I can't help but think of A Christmas Story, which was set in Cleveland, and I think that movie is hysterical. I love it. Little Ralphie and his old man and whatnot. But okay, so now here we are in Cleveland again, and maybe we're in for another humorous delight in this book. I will read it and I will let you know. Until we meet again, know that I love you. Don't let those bad days win. And when you dream, make sure you're dreaming big.